All right, you're welcome back to News Beat. Let's go back onto the phone lines and speak with private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu on the back of the Chief Justice requesting for more Supreme Court judges. Martin, thank you so much for your time. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining us again. So I was earlier on asking that we've had a lot of opinions, and most of them, one that stands out is the fact that it is abuse of power for the Chief Justice to request for this, and it is also smart of illegality. Can you explain all this to us?
Okay. So the reason people who say so have something to say, that's to say they are within the law, is that this matter of appointment of Supreme Court judges has come before the Supreme Court in a number of lawsuits over the decades. So I'll deal with the most recent one since it comments on the previous one. So the most recent one makes it clear that the Chief Justice has no business writing that letter to the President. No, it has no place in our constitutional dispensation. The most recent decision says that if you want to do the nominations, right, send that letter to the Judicial Council. Send that letter to the Judicial Council. So I'm talking about the case of GBA, Nene Amegache, who was a Supreme Court judge until recently, Frank Beecham, and others versus Attorney General. So there were 3 lawsuits which were put together. Let's go over. GBA, excuse me, GBA, Amegache, that's Nene Amegache, who just retired, is it last year or early this year? Amenuvo, who was GBA secretary, and Frank Beecham, who was GBA president, versus Attorney General. That's one of the lawsuits. Then there is the Richard Sky, also versus Attorney General. Then there is Danswa Tempon versus Attorney General. So 3 of them were put together. And in that case, the Supreme Court was clear that to get the nomination, the practice has always been that the President can nominate through, so they say the Attorney General. And when they say the Attorney General is a politician. So presumably, the President can send his nominations through the Attorney General to the Judicial Council. Then the GBA, that's Ghana Bar Association, can also send theirs to the Judicial Council. The Chief Justice should also pass hers through the Judicial Council. So the Chief Justice have no business writing to the President. I don't see where it says. They say send it through the Judicial Council. Don't do any straight communication with the President. So that's where the challenge is. That's where the challenge is. And we have to speak forcefully about these things because, you see, if we don't, we'll keep eroding our democratic dispensation. You see, that case I was talking about, Afeni Martin, it's not majority leader. Yeah, they even went to court. We're challenging the previous administration. It was news all over. So that's in equal measure, that's how we have to speak against this current situation. Because if we don't do that, we don't strengthen our democracy. There can't be shyness in this sense, all right? Yeah, Nene Amegache, he did that. You'll find newspaper publications. Amegache saying, no, politicization of the Supreme Court, this. Subsequently, he was appointed by Kufado to the Supreme Court. Yes, we have to speak about these things. No, we have to. Otherwise, our democracy will go, it will disintegrate, all right? So this one that the Chief Justice has done is difficult to defend. It has no place. It has no place in the Constitution.
Let's do some anticipation. Should the President pay heed to this request and indeed appoint more Supreme Court judges, pursuant to this request that has been put in by the Chief Justice, what's going to happen?
It cannot even happen at all. So the process is that if the Judicial Council doesn't recommend, the President cannot appoint.
Okay.
So there's no way. It's not like the President it's not like ministers that the President sends a list to Parliament straight away from his office. No. This one, like I mentioned earlier, the law is that if you want to appoint Supreme Court judges, there are 3 ways to nominate. The Attorney General, so if the President is interested, he will talk to his Attorney General to send a list to the Judicial Council. It's also a body made up of the Supreme Court judges and deans of law faculties, Then there are judges, representations, etc. So it's a body that oversees this thing. So they will vet the nominees and go through. When they are done, then they write a recommendation, that's a report to the president that, okay, the nominations that Chief Justice has brought, that Ghana Bar Association has brought, that your own Attorney General has brought. When we went through, these are the people we found fit. So you may go ahead and appoint. Then the Supreme Court said, once that list goes to the president, if they write Ekua, or what's your name?
This is Annie.
Annie. Oh, yes. Okay, Annie Ampofo. So if they write your name, Annie Ampofo, you are number 5, Annie. And then let's say that Derek is number 1. They are saying that the president can choose Annie Ampofo, though you are number 5. As for that one, it's within his right. So the main thing is that the list must come from the Judicial Council. Any other list coming from any quarters is illegal. Let's be very clear. The list, if you...
Can the Judicial Council be influenced in any way?
Oh, as for being influenced, that one is no brainer. They can be influenced as long as they are human beings. But where the thing is coming from, it cannot be helped. So the Chief Justice letter should have gone to the Judicial Council. Then they'll go and lobby. That one we will not see. So, and the ones they are human beings, of course, naturally, some can be, not everybody. But so we are answering that as long as they are human beings and human beings are fallible, they can be influenced, right?
Yeah.
So theoretically, yes. But in this particular case, where the letter is gone straight to the president, it cannot be saved. It can't. You can't do, the president can't do anything with it. So if anything at all, but I also understand that the Chief Justice went to the Judicial Council but failed, that they shut it down. That's what we've heard. It's reported. I have the newspaper here. Where is it? Daily Post. Which day is that? Daily Post newspaper. Is that the one here? No, I think it was on the 3rd of July. No, this one is 4th. So it was the day before. So on the 3rd, yeah, I saw a soft copy. I even read the soft copy where they said, yes, the Chief Justice went there and it didn't work. So it means that once it didn't work, of course, nothing stops her from reapplying. It's just like you're applying for a job, it doesn't work. Yeah, you can reapply. Maybe you see your faults, except that, look, the main thing is that this nomination and everything is too close to the election. It's too close. President Akufo-Addo is appointed enough. In that Supreme Court decision I referred to earlier, they said that the practice is that we should not exceed 14. We should not exceed 14. Right now, the number is around 15, right? Or thereabouts.
Yeah.
And so, besides the critical, if we are arranging the main reasons, the thing is that President Akufo-Addo is on his way out. He can't be making decisions for us. No, it's too late for such far-reaching decisions. Like he will make a decision for somebody who sits on the Supreme Court bench like 15 years, 10 years, 20. No. Not right. When Akufo-Addo has 4 months or five months thereabouts to go.
Right. Senior lawyer Martin Kpebu.